Welcome to PSA Today. Let's talk. I'm Angelica Jacobson, and today the PSA marks a historic milestone: 105 years of unwavering service, solidarity, and advocacy in the public sector. As the PSA celebrates this remarkable journey, we take a moment to reflect on one of the PSA's cornerstones: collective bargaining at the PSCBC. Today's theme: the old and the new in collective bargaining. We are honored to be joined by two stalwarts of labor negotiations: the former chief negotiator of the PSA, Jannie Oosthuizen, and the current chief negotiator, Joseph Mashigu. Gentlemen, welcome. Jannie, you were part of the most formative years of PSCBC. Take us back. What was collective bargaining like in those years?
Thank you, Angelica. Yes, well, during those years, the establishment of the PSCBC, the Public Sector Bargaining Council, Coordinating Bargaining Council, it in itself was groundbreaking for employees at large. It was more like we're trying to establish rights within the collective bargaining space for our members. At that time, before the establishment, remember, it was more about unilateralism, implementation, creating of structures, and those type of things. And the focus was not only establishing the rights for members, but new rights has been established through the PSCBC, and that created a platform for dialogue between employer and employee.
How did the PSA assert itself in that environment?
Well, that time we normally utilize the knowledge, expertise, and skills that you have acquire in engaging with employer. There was not this new era of living data that was utilized, and we ensure that the relationships was built, trust was built, in order to establish roundtable discussions and the platform where members' voices can be heard.
Joseph, fast forward to today, you are leading the PSA at the PSCBC. How did the landscapes change?
Thank you very much, Angelica. Now, negotiations are more structured, but also much more complex than in Yanni's time. Now we are facing different types of challenges where we're dealing with, fiscal consolidation, austerity challenges, as well as, issues that have to do with, more around, job security. But I think negotiations now has changed form and shape in terms of the interest that we have, where now we are obviously in a more digital era, that we have to secure jobs, that people are not replaced by the advancement of technology and all of those things. However, unlike in Yanni's time where mostly the primary issues around negotiations were more on the issues of, salaries and all of those things, as much as that has become, it still remains an important aspect of negotiations. But we also have to, as the union, take more of a posture of being both a negotiator and a strategist, because we are now having to, find our way around fiscal constraints.
Are the power dynamics different today?
Definitely, because now you have the employer, where treasury is playing more of a, a role where they kind of, are looking at the issues of, fiscal, as I indicated, constraints and all of those things. So there's not much money, and it's very difficult, because then unions have to be more creative in trying to look at how do we improve conditions of service in a way that it does not all have to do with issues of financial benefit, but improving conditions, but within the constraints that we're facing. They have also, somehow, changed in a sense of the fact that now, a relation is based on the political climate in the country and how parties then relate. But I think Yanni, at this time, they've laid a very good foundation for us, especially in terms of, building strong relations and trust with the parties within the PSABC.
Let's discuss, Yanni, what strikes you most about PSA's approach today?
Well, I must say I'm very proud of the current team under the leadership of Joseph, who's the chief negotiator. Members' rights interests are protected. New rights are being established through the team that are currently there. The current political dynamics has also a huge impact with the current wage negotiations, the establishment or the existence of the GNU, and the manner in which the current team must negotiate around that and find their footing. I think it takes some exceptional skills from the team to ensure that the members' interests are still protected and that the PSA voices are still heard. Currently, I think we are the second largest union within the PCBC, and it's a huge achievement for the PSA to can say that. We are the largest non-political union at the level of the PCBC under the leadership of the current team, and therefore I think it's a proud moment in the history of the PSA to actually see that the younger generation is leading, and they've identified issues that is at heart of the young generation. It is not as if indicated in the past, it was more trying to establish these rights, and now there's an enhancement, the total shift from impositional based to interest based. I think Joseph have acquired the skills with his team to make sure that the interest-based approach is more appropriate now, and the needs of the members and the voices of the members are being dealt with, and new interests are being established through the team.
Joseph?
Yeah, and I think Yanni, in his generation, they really laid a very good foundation. They've really taught us that their relationships really matter. I still use the advice that he gave me at times that when if you walk out, you must be prepared to walk all the way. And that really has taught that you really need to have a discipline in terms of maintaining the relationships and be very strategic at it. So I think that is very helpful with us and the team going forward.
And what lessons do you have for the next generation of PSA negotiators?
Well, I think it's important for you to stay informed, to know the market, and you need to know when to listen and when to speak. And the most of all is respect one another.
Joseph, from your side?
I would say that it's important that you innovate with purpose. You use law, you use data, use what's available, but then stay human. Negotiations is a human process, so it's important that you don't only rely on what's available for you to use as tools, but you maintain the humanness, and that assists in achieving greater results.
Thank you, Yanni and Joseph, for this inspiring conversation. As the PSA celebrates 105 years of service, we honor not only the battles fought and won at the bargaining table, but also the values that carried us through. Until next time, keep raising your voice, stay informed, and remember, the PSA is your union, your voice. Happy 105th anniversary.